And it really took like a lot of retrospective analysis and, trying to figure out like how I got through various hurdles and stuff in my life. It's hard to identify one specific thing, one specific core value that really underlies someone's success, or what motivates them and what really enables them to achieve their potential. And I'll tell you, like, for me, I think this is just backtracking a little bit. Actually, doing the exercise of sitting down and defining what defines you, what your core values are, the 3 or 4 things that define you, is really where it all begins. And to be perfectly honest, it's not something I even thought about until a couple of years ago. It's probably in like 2018, I defined my core values. And it was after reading a book, it's called Traction by Gino Wickman. And he basically talks about how important it is to define core values. And I never really thought about it because, of course, all of these things were sort of living in my world, like things that were important to me, like kindness and professionalism and passion, like you mentioned. And these are things that I always talked about, but I never actually sat down and defined what my core values are. And the reason why I think it's so important now on the other end of that, having defined my core values, one is it kind of captures what I'm all about. And so I think it's also important that your core values professionally and personally are the exact same thing, because it really enables you to troubleshoot issues, right? It just is who you are. So like for me, I sat down and I was in Miami actually with my family, and I finished reading that book, and I was on the plane ride home, and I wanted to send an email to my staff. The new year, I think 2019 was starting, and or maybe it was 2018, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was 2019. And I wanted to send an email to my staff, to kind of set the tone right for the year. So on the plane ride home, I had a piece of paper and I was just writing down what are my 4, I wanted to distill it down to 4 things. What are the 4 things that define what Mudgil dermatology is all about? And what are the 4 things that define what Dr. Mudgil is all about? And again, they're one and the same. So, after really kind of like figuring out these 4 things: care and compassion, integrity, accountability, and attention to detail. Those are the 4 things that define me as an individual. And it really took like a lot of retrospective analysis and, trying to figure out like how I got through various hurdles and stuff in my life, and what 4 things really resonated the most for me as a human, and of course, my business is a microcosm of who I am as a human. I don't have any partners, it's just me. And really my message is the message of my business, and it's the message that I want to translate to my staff, to my other doctors that work for me, my assistants, my front desk staff, because it's a piece of me. It's one arm of what I do.